Not exaggerating whatsoever, this video has the potential to completely change the trajectory of your life. If you apply it properly, you avoid some of the mistakes I'm going to be talking about, and you actually watch it from beginning to end. The reason you need to watch it from beginning to end is because steps number 4 and 5 are probably the most important, but without step number 6, none of this is going to be possible. I'm also going to break all of this down in the simplest terms as possible, from step by step. Literally, step 1, what do you need to do first, and what is the last step that you need to take in order to apply this properly so you actually get the results that you want. I've done this 3 different times, and every single time I've done this, it has completely altered my reality. All of the things that I thought weren't even possible for me to accomplish, all of those limiting beliefs were absolutely shattered because I did this exact system that I'm about to share with you. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, the first link in the description, you just book a call, answer a couple questions, and then we'll get on the phone so that we can talk about working together one-on-one. So if you want to get in the best shape of your life physically and mentally, you want to eliminate negativity, you want some structure, you want to just level up in all areas of your life, gain that confidence that you lost, or get rid of some of the insecurities that you have, all of those things are all encompassing in this coaching program that I offer. So if you guys are interested in that, first link in the description, or you can DM me on Instagram. But let's get back to the video. So like I said, I've done this 3 different times, and every single time I've done it, the level up has been undeniable, right? So the first time I did it was when I went to the police academy. I was so overwhelmed and scared that first day, stressed out of my mind. I was like, man, I'm so out of place being here. And I dove in head first with this exact system and came out on top, right? Made it successful. The second time was when I was actually in field training. Field training to become a cop makes the police academy look like child's play. It's not even close. It's a completely different animal, and it's way more demanding. And then the third time was when I actually left law enforcement to go and build my own business, and that required every single part of me, and I couldn't have done it if I didn't go into a season of just laser focused work and in such intent and intensity to make that goal happen. So that's what I'm going to tell you today. But there's really one mistake that you need to avoid with this whole process. The one mistake is the mistake that everybody makes that leads to them just not doing this whatsoever, going back and indulging on all the negative habits and being filled with all that negativity that they carry themselves with every single day. It's because they make this one mistake. The one mistake is you just use a blanket statement and you just cut out everything, a blanket like template of this process, and you just cut out absolutely everything in your life. In order for this to actually work, you need to use some common sense, and you need to use your own intuition and really listen to your conscience. Like, what are the things that you actually need to cut out that are going to have massive benefits in your life? And what are the things that if you were to cut out would have almost no influence whatsoever in your life? Because if you just cut out everything and even the things that you enjoy and they have no negative impact on you and your daily life, then you're just going to make yourself miserable, right? We want to enhance our focus. We want to enhance our direction and clarity, but we don't want to just cut out everything for the sake of cutting things out. All right, so now let's get into the steps. What's the actual step-by-step guide that you need to follow to actually see some results? So you want to follow this from step 1 to step 6. Don't bounce around because that'll affect everything. Step number 1, get a piece of paper and take inventory of all the major distractions in your life, the major controllable distractions in your life that you honestly believe that they will have a massive impact if removed. A lot of times we go through life and we wonder, why am I not motivated? Why don't I have any discipline? Why don't I have any clarity? Like why am I just drifting through life like a zombie? Most of the time, you're just overstimulated by everything that you consume. It's an overconsumption of content, but it's also an overconsumption of external inputs. So everyone's voice, podcasts, audiobooks, TV, YouTube videos, social media, all of these things, all of those voices are so deeply ingrained in your mind that your voice, your clarity that you seek is severely diminished because it's drowned out by everything else that you're filling your mind with. This is crucial. You have to eliminate distractions before you go on to any other steps. When it comes to this step and all of the future steps, be brutally honest with yourself and the reality that you live in. So if you're going to cut something out, make sure that's real. Like that's really the problem. A lot of times, for example, people will say, oh, it's my friend group. It's all the people I hang around with. They're negative. They're this, they're that. They're dragging me down. But then they fail to admit that the real problem is the 8 hours they spend on their phone and YouTube and on social media, the hours they play video games, all the junk they feed their body, all the negative things that they consume on a daily basis, all those negative thoughts that they allow to stain their mind and stain their soul. They completely ignore all that shit because they're so attached to that vice. They're so attached to that negative habit that they don't want to say, yes, this is the problem and this is what I need to eliminate. So be brutally honest with yourself. And these things take time, guys. Like, all of these steps take time. Don't be that dork who thinks that he's filled with all of this negativity and he's going to solve all of his problems by spending 5 minutes on it. That's not how it works. Chances are you've spent years, if not decades, solidifying these negative habits and ingraining all of these distractions in your life. It's going to take a whole lot more than just 5 minutes to actually solve the problem. So if you can't make it to the end of the video, there's a problem there. There's a major problem with your focus. And that is the goal with step number 1. We want to reduce all of the things that are diminishing and deteriorating our focus. Because if you don't have focus, if you can't focus on a singular task for an extended period of time, there is no way that you can succeed. All right, so now step number 2, on that same piece of paper or a different piece of paper, you want to write down your daily actions and your daily habits that are obviously holding you back. Be brutally honest here. What are the things that I can remove that I do every single day that will have a significant impact on my life in a positive manner? This is different from step 1. Step 1 is more of overconsumption of content, external inputs that you're feeding your mind. This is more tangible, right? These are the physical things that you do every single day that we need to cut out. Your habits, they compound over time. So because those habits compound over time, they will lead you to one result or the other. Positive habits will lead you to your desired result. Negative habits will lead you in the complete opposite direction that you want to go. So we want to know, what are the things that I need to remove? A lot of times we want to get started on all of these things and start trying to improve ourselves. And what we do is we play the game of addition. What can I add into my life? What is the next thing that I can add to the list so that I can start improving? But they're adding on top of a list of shitty habits and negative vices that they let run their life. We must eliminate those things first. And you will have significantly more positive impact in your life by removing those things instead of just adding one thing on top of that. So these negative actions and these negative habits that we partake in on a daily basis, they put us in a low frequency state. They fill us with low frequency emotions, shame, guilt, regret, and just negativity overall. If you have an action that you do every single day that fills you with those negative emotions, it must be eliminated. Low frequency actions lead to low frequency states, which lead to low frequency results. So in order to remedy that, so we stop getting filled with all of these low frequency emotions, we must take positive actions and build positive habits in place to replace those things, right? Because if we don't, and we just start doing positive habits while we're still doing all of these negative habits, too much friction, no change is going to occur. So really be honest with yourself, listen to your conscience, and evaluate what actions do I need to take in order to get the result that I want, which we're going to talk about more on a later step. Step number 3, get crystal clear on the vision. And we have to craft that vision. What are we going after? What is the goal? And why do we want it? Lack of clarity will lead to a lack of results. And noise is the enemy of clarity. Noise is distractions and negative actions. That's why we go step 1, eliminate distractions. Step 2, eliminate negative actions and habits. That is all noise that will cloud your judgment. It will cloud your vision. So you don't have a clear vision of where we're going and why we're going there, right? Because you're too overstimulated. So with this step and all of the steps, write it down. Like, really put your mind onto paper. If you just try to process all of these things, yeah, you might get a little bit of benefit, but you will get significantly more benefits if you write everything down. Literally take your mind and do a brain dump on a piece of paper going through every one of these steps. All right, so step number 4 and step number 5 are absolutely crucial, because we do not want to just go through 3 months of suffering, 2 months of suffering, 6 months of suffering, and then just revert back to exactly who we were in the beginning. If you're gonna do that, don't even bother. Don't even waste your time. It's the same as like when people, they want to lose weight for an event, so they work out really hard, they change all their habits. Once the event comes, they throw everything out the window and they revert back in half of the time. This is a period of becoming, right? So step number 4, change the identity. We don't want to just go through a period of intense focus and success in whatever area that we want. We want to become somebody who is successful. We want to become somebody who has all of those things. So by shifting our identity and becoming somebody new who can operate at this level, who has these results, You will not only get those results because those are your new standards, but you will be able to sustain them and keep them. Most of the time, people are just concerned with acquiring. How can I get more shit, right? How can I get more things? Instead of becoming someone who can attract those things, but not only that, it's like becoming someone who can keep those things. Acquiring is one thing. Like anybody can get lucky and acquire something, but how many people can actually become somebody who can keep them? Like one of the examples that I love to use is everybody wants a 7-figure business. If I gave you a 7-figure business right now, there is no way that you would be able to sustain that, manage that, and make it successful. It would crumble in a couple of months because you haven't developed the skills, the know-how, the discipline, the wisdom to be able to operate something at that caliber. You must become somebody new. Everything in life is about becoming, not acquiring. Become someone who has those goals. Become someone who has the goal that you're after at the end of this monk mode phase, right? If you become someone who has those things, it's a natural byproduct of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis because that is who you are. You identify as that person. All right, so this leads me to step number 5. What's your program? What do you do on a day-to-day basis and what do you not do? What is the system that you follow every single day that's going to get you the results that you want? So now we know what results we want. We know who we want to become. We know what the goal is. Now we have to work backwards. What kind of habits and daily actions do I need to embody in order to get that result that I want? Like I said earlier, daily actions and daily habits, they compound over time. So if we align our daily actions and habits, decisions, thoughts, and beliefs right now with the result that we want, the result being that end goal, the result being who we are becoming, if we aligned all of our daily actions and all of those thoughts and beliefs, over time, they will compound to that end result. But without actions, habits, beliefs, thoughts, and being able to control all those things and making sure they're all set up in a positive manner, no change can occur. Like we just talked about identity, right? The identity is huge in the manifestation space, in the law of attraction space. You attract all of these things that you think about. Yeah, you attract all of the things that you think about if your actions are in congruence with those thoughts and those beliefs. If you just think all fucking day, you tell yourself how great you are, and then you go and you indulge in all of these negative habits that fill you with so much negativity, no change is going to occur. You pair changing the identity, the thoughts, the beliefs, with the positive actions, and that is when massive, massive changes occur. A big tip that I can give you on this is to create structure. A lot of people, they shy away from structure for some reason. Structure creates clarity, and clarity leads to success. So if you have no structure in your life, then it's very easy to just start winging everything, right? And if you're winging it day to day, that means you're just winging it at life, which means you're not going to get any of the results that you want. Have some structure. What time do you wake up? What time do you go to sleep? What are the non-negotiable tasks that you do every single day? And what are the non-negotiable tasks that you avoid? The negative actions, the negative habits that you completely stay away from. Because like I said, we want to get new habits, new actions, new thoughts, new beliefs. We want to eliminate all of our old negative actions, thoughts, and beliefs. We get rid of them by replacing them with these new actions and removing them altogether. So what are the things that we have to do on a day-to-day basis? Write those things down and then create some structure. What does your morning process look like? Are you just waking up and rolling out of bed and hoping you're going to be fucking successful? Good fucking luck. Like, we need some structure. Structure creates clarity. Clarity leads to success. So step number 6 is that we have to be in full control of our internal dialogue, which is our self-talk and our attitude about the entire process. A lot of times people fail, not because they're not taking the right actions, but because they're so negative about everything that they're doing. Everything that they're doing is such a drag. It's such a chore. I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I didn't have to do that. Oh, this sucks. This is this. This is that. You're shitting on everything that you're doing. So you're filling yourself with too many negative emotions, and you're pairing those negative emotions with too many positive actions. That leads to too much friction. So no change can occur. We must pair positive actions with positive self-talk, affirming self-beliefs. We have to be in full control of where our mind goes and where our mind doesn't go. Our attitude must be positive about everything that is positive that we're doing, right? Every positive action must have a positive self-talk, a positive emotion behind it in order for it to stick, because we're talking about how great this is. how this is going to lead us to our goals, how this is going to change our life, how this is making you a beast, how this is increasing your focus, all of these great things. But if we're talking about it in such a negative light, how is any change supposed to occur? You see this a lot in health and fitness. People start going on a diet and they're like, oh man, I wish I didn't have to eat this. I wish I could eat this. I wish I could eat pizza. I wish I could eat donuts. I wish I didn't have to wake up tomorrow morning so early so I can work out. I wish I didn't have to do this and that. There is too many negative emotions, which leads them to quit. It makes your mind and your subconscious mind tell you like this isn't the process that we want. But if you're so focused on believing and making sure that everything that you're thinking about is in alignment with the outcome that you want, it's like, dude, you won't be stopped. Chances are, if you're gonna go into a season of intense focus, there is something that you want that you obviously don't have. So in order to get a different result, we must change our actions, but we must change our thoughts, our beliefs, our self-talk. If you're so fucking negative about everything that you do, how do you expect any positive results to show up in your life? Doesn't make any fucking sense. So if we want something new, we must think new. We must act new. We must change all of these things to get this new result. So this is a critical step in the process. But before we end the video, you shouldn't need somebody to sell you on this process. I've given you a clear roadmap, like step by step. This is what you do in step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to prime your mind to be in an intense season of focus to actually get the results that you want. If you actually want those results, you'll take the advice that I gave you in this video and you'll apply it and you won't look back. But if you need somebody to sell you on going into a season of intense focus, how much do you really want it? Not very much. Like if you need someone to sell you on going and doing something like this, you don't want it bad enough. And if you don't want it bad enough, it's like you really have to reflect on how much time you're wasting filling your mind with all of these thoughts of I want this and I want that and I want this. If you're not willing to work for it, you're just daydreaming. You're just wasting your time. Apply what I talked about in this video and it will completely change your life. But that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, like the video. You already made it to the end. If you guys enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.